Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's story comes straight from Reddit's pro-revenge community. And if you think you've seen karma in action before, hold on. This one started as a small injustice and turned into a masterclass in patient, surgical payback. So let's dive in. Our storyteller goes by Alex. He asked to stay anonymous, and he was the lead product engineer at a fast-growing startup in Seattle. Alex had been with the company for 5 years, the kind of person who stayed late to debug shipping problems, who knew every legacy script and fragile CI pipeline by heart. In the office Slack, he was the silent fixer. Then the new senior director, Mark, arrived. Mark had a polished LinkedIn, a big smile, and a habit of turning other people's wins into his own. He loved optics, slide decks, keynotes, headlines, and he loved being seen doing the heavy lifting, even when he wasn't. At first, it was small. Mark would retell a troubleshooting story and change the ending. He'd mention Alex's 6-hour fix as if he'd led the late-night sprint. Alex felt a tight knot in his chest, betrayed, frustrated, diminished. Then it got worse. At a big investor demo, the product Alex had rebuilt was shown. Mark presented it as a personal initiative. VCs clapped. Mark basked. Alex sat in the back, invisible. That was the point the knot became a blade. He was not someone who liked public fights, but he also was not someone who would let a career be rewritten. So he started planning. Alex decided to do something surgical. No humiliation stunts, no petty pranks. He wanted proof, accountability, and a reveal that couldn't be gaslighted away. The strategy: build a quiet, undeniable trail showing who did the real work, and orchestrate a situation where Mark's Step 1. Documentation. Alex began annotating commits with clear messages, storing problem reproductions in a private, time-stamped bug tracker, and saving terminal session recordings of his fixes. He created a private archive, a folder with logs, recorded screens, emails, and step-by-step root cause analyses, all time-stamped and cross-referenced. Step 2. The Dummy Project. Alex proposed a small but visible internal initiative, a feature preview, or a client-facing integration. He wrote a spec, pitched the shiny dashboard mock-ups, and volunteered to be the primary engineer. Mark latched on because it had optics. What neither Mark nor the execs knew was that Alex designed the integration to depend on a specific hidden configuration he controlled, and he intentionally built a subtle Step 3. Allies. Alex quietly looped in 2 reliable teammates and the DevOps lead, sharing redacted parts of his archive to create a distributed web of corroboration. He did not gossip. He only made sure that competent witnesses existed who could verify timelines and technical facts. Finally, he prepared the reveal: a single, meticulously organized internal site, a timeline page that would be easy for non-technical execs to read. It included commit hashes, dated screenshots, Slack snippets showing who asked for help and who delivered, putting the plan in action. Release day arrived, as planned, during the staged demo to clients and a few board members. The integration went live and promptly failed. Alerts fired. Users saw errors. Mark's face moved from smug to pale. He scrambled, called for the team to triage immediately, and began narrating heroics about how he would fix it. Executives stared at dashboards flashing red. Alex stayed calm. He asked the meeting owner for permission to step in and offered to demonstrate exactly what was happening. The owner nodded. Alex joined the incident call, shared his screen, and within minutes reproduced the failure. He then applied the hidden configuration, the reveal. That would have been satisfying alone, but Alex saved the best for after the runes settled. He calmly pulled up his internal timeline page and said, "If you'd like, I can show how this sequence repeats." He clicked through commits, time-stamped messages showing he'd implemented the integration glue. Slack threads where Mark claimed initial setup without technical detail, and an annotated timeline showing how Mark repeatedly presented others' technical work as his own in internal town halls and investor decks. He then shared 3 short terminal clips, timestamps visible, each showing him resolving past outages. He played a snippet of a private Slack channel where Mark had asked Alex to justice served. The board asked for time to review. Human Resources and Security opened an investigation that afternoon. Within 48 hours, the company paused Mark's client-facing duties while they audited past presentations and public claims. The timeline evidence made it impossible for Mark to rewrite history. Several VPs who had suspected discrepancies but lacked proof reached out privately to Alex, thanking him and asking for help documenting other incidents. 2 weeks later, the company announced an internal reorg. Mark was removed from the promotional pipeline and put on a performance plan that came with strict monitoring and mentorship. The narrative changed from senior director to on remediation. Alex, he declined immediate promotion offers. Instead, he negotiated for 2 things: a formal role as head of reliability that included authority over production releases, and a clause ensuring his technical contributions would always be listed in project release notes. He also requested an anonymous thank you note, the kind of moral victory he wanted, sent to the company at large. The execs agreed. But the best part wasn't the promotion. A month later, Mark gave a talk at an industry meetup where he again exaggerated his hands-on role in product development. A former colleague who'd seen Alex's timeline stood up during Q&A and asked a technical follow-up that Mark couldn't answer. People in the room exchanged the same look, the glint of recognition. In the end, the lesson is simple. Public glory often rides on private labor. If someone keeps living off other people's work, a patient, documented approach will expose them. Revenge, when done well, is not about humiliation. It's about restoring truth. Evidence matters. Patience matters. And professionalism, applied with quiet intent, can be more devastating than rage. Engagement. What would you have done? Would you have exposed Mark publicly the moment you suspected him? Or built a case like Alex? If you enjoyed this one, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because we've got more true tales of poetic justice from Reddit coming every week. Want daily stories? Drop daily in the comments, and I'll try to make it happen. See you next time.